Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our session, Rebuilding Thailand's Future, Digital, Data, and the Next Growth Catalyst. My name is Sukrit Friested from UBS, and I'll be your moderator for the session today. Thailand has made meaningful progress in digital infrastructure. We are seeing greater cloud availability, increasing AI interest, and a more ambitious national digital agenda. At the same time, the harder question is whether Thailand can convert these building blocks into stronger productivity, higher value businesses, better public service, and durable growth. For investors, the issue is not simply how technology is deployed, it is where value accrues, which sectors improve their economics, and whether Thailand can build the capabilities to compete in a more AI and data-driven regional economy. Joining us today is Kun Thiranan Sihong, Chairman of the Board of Commissioners for the Digital Economy Promotion Agency in Thailand, and Kun Sarut Tipsena, Country Manager for Thailand at Google Cloud. Together, they bring the policy and technology perspective needed to discuss how Thailand can turn digital infrastructure, data, and AI into the next growth catalyst. Thank you both for coming here today. So to begin on the highest level, when you look at Thailand's digital economy today, what has changed most materially in recent years? What remains the biggest obstacle to Thailand becoming more digitally competitive? Perhaps we could start with Kun Thiranan, and then we will follow by Kun Sarut Kap.
Thank you very much. Actually, I think looking at the audience, most of the audience are Thais, and you probably use your mobile banking to buy a cup of coffee today. Actually, you can go to any street vendors, you can use a government subsidy, the Plus scheme, to buy stuff every single day. We have the highest e-commerce internet penetration in the entire, almost entire planet at the moment. But as the chairman of DEPA, I'm here to tell you a candid truth around digital, right? Thailand has an excellent, phenomenal in terms of the digital infrastructure being built during the last 2 decades, right? If I can compare that, just like we're building a digital highway, a very high quality digital highways, but actually the productive use of that highways is still in questions. I think the highway is as good as the quality of the people, the vehicle, or the goods travel on that highway. And that's the key challenges that Thailand is still having. Looking at the IMD ranking, the digital competitiveness around 70 nations, Thailand is ranked at number 37, which is slightly in the lower half in terms of the overall digital competitiveness. We are number 29 when it gets to the infrastructure or the technologies. 5G is there, very high quality, very reliable. We have recently even managed to attract the hyperscale investments from Microsoft, Google's. Everyone is coming here to build somewhat a digital infrastructure, data centers and all that in Thailand. But on the technology side, we're lacking issues around data, AI adoptions, and AI investments, right? Both the private investment and the public investment to get to AIs. In terms of knowledge, we are number 37, right? We have improved during the last few years in terms of the training program being provided. We have improved on the education side, still quite far back in terms of the advanced studies on new technologies, right? But we're ranking very low in terms of scientific concentrations, scientific papers, for examples. We hardly have any AI papers being published by the Thai or Thai academic institutions. We're still low in terms of tech employments or availabilities of tech talents. Digital R&D is still quite low in the country. So when it gets to what I call the future readiness of Thai enterprises, we are at number 45 out of 70s, which is ranking, I would say, pretty low at the moment. It's in the almost bottom of the third quartile. The issue is that we have high mobile usage. We have very good digital payment already. But when it gets to the SMEs adoptions of digital technology, it's still very basic, right? Maybe a few software being used here and there. Nowhere any benchmark in terms of AI adoptions, or even the large corporate is still struggling with AI at the moment on how they're going to use it. Privacy law and all that, the enforcement of that, or the investments to ensure that the data is well protected and all that is still lacking behind. And one of the very big concerns right now is on the cybersecurities. And frankly speaking, especially on the government sectors, the abilities of the government sectors to protect our own data, the citizens' data, from cybersecurity. So these are the issues. So I'm not sure whether you can see any slides that I prepared. You have that? Okay. This is from DIPA. We are about to draft our third digital economy promotion master plan, which is going to be used starting from next year. And we're trying to take lessons learned from the second plan. The second plan trying to address 4 strategies. The first one is building human capital for digital economies. Second one is trying to help Thai enterprises and Thai citizens to do a digital transformation, high-value digital transformations. Issue around opportunities and inclusivities, and issues around building effective innovation ecosystems. And you see the little notes below each of the strategies points. I list out all the problems. Still, what we see is still problems, right? Human capital, we build a lot of people, but we are not successful at all in building deep tech and AI people, right? Cybersecurities, concentrations of people only in the large cities, especially in only 3 locations actually, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and Phuket. Even though we are always ranked as the top spot for digital nomads all around the world. If you search using your Google search right now, right, which cities are the hottest spot for digital nomads? Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and Phuket always come up as one of the top cities. So we have a lot of people working on digital right now, but they're not working for Thai digital companies, and they're not serving Thai communities as such. So these are the 4 pillars that we are working on, but still a lot of problems to solve, even though we have spent already almost 10 years in the journey. But we don't have any other choice, right? Just to continue to press on, pushing on all of these topics to ensure that we make good progress along the fronts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ครับ คุณ Thiranan. คุณ Sarut, your thoughts?
ครับ The question is how much change that we have seen.
Yeah, basically what has changed in the
Yeah. Got it.
recent years.
So to add on what Kun Thiranan just mentioned, I think one of the biggest change that we all have witnessed in Thailand is past COVID, if you remember. And I think COVID had made these markets very, very open to technology adoption. Google just recently published what we call a Gemini Southeast Asia report. Anyone who interested can Google, look it up. So basically, we look into the signal that we see in Southeast Asia, and then we publish a report outlining of the characteristic of each of the market, how people adopt AI, how people adopt digital technology in each of the market. So interestingly, what we found in Thailand is we are very creative economy. Our people is super creative. Guess what? I assume most of you know what we call nano banana, the AI model that help us generate funny pictures, good pictures. Thailand is the highest usage of nano banana in the world. We even exceed India. So that's the level of creativity that Thai people has. So my point is to build on top Kun Thiranan is I think we have very a good momentum in tech adoption in human capital. Thai people is very well known in terms of adopting technology to our daily life, to our daily work, our daily use. So to your point, the next question is, yes, we have good infrastructure in the country. Our people eat and live and sleep with technology. How do we collectively as society capitalize this infrastructure and the people readiness and deliver higher values from the technology? So I think that's where the next curve that Thailand is going to be, which I think leads to the topic of data, cybersecurity, and the organizational transformation that we are working on at the moment.
Thank you, Kap. And if I may build on that, so you've talked about nano banana creativity as a strong suit for Thailand, but do you see any particular area where Thailand is underusing the potential of AI in, and what can either the populations or business begin to do?
Interestingly, from that Gemini Southeast Asia report that I just mentioned, on one hand, we're very creative society. On the other hand, guess what? To use AI at work, Thailand is among the very few countries in Southeast Asia. So we tend to use AI about, build me a plan to travel to Japan, right? Or how to say this in a nicer way, for example. But if you take Singapore, for example, Singapore has a very high rate of AI adoption when it comes to work, in the Philippines, they have a concept of building or using AI as a career coach to their people. So if I work in a contact center, if I work in a customer service, I can easily leverage Gemini to be the coach for my work and tell me how can I do better tomorrow, and what have I met today, how could I do it differently if the same situation comes in. So these kind of small things is in the report, by the way. These kind of the small things is the key difference that we are seeing between Thailand and pretty much the rest of Southeast Asia.
Thank you, Kap. So Kun Thiranan, if I may come back to you. So we've talked a lot about the digital infrastructure, the capabilities, and we believe that this can one day eventually translate into broad economic values. But one of the concerns that the market tend to have is that rather than primarily benefiting the entire economy, it's benefiting just a small group of businesses or just early adopters. How can we ensure that that doesn't happen in Thailand in the medium to longer term?
Yeah. Well, I think the issues about Thailand is that, as I said, we are a phenomenal digital consumers, right? And what the policy is trying to make, at least in DEPA right now, is that how can we start shifting that? Because when you are heavy consumers, you're buying foreign software, you're using foreign clouds, you're paying everything in terms of the infrastructure cost being built. So even though very high usage, there's also a very high value leakage, right? And that's one of the issues that we are seeing productivity increase in almost all nations in the world, except Thailand, because we are paying very high cost for digital services, for digital AIs and all that, because we are not anywhere near good producers of those technology at all, right? So the issues that we are trying to work on, and this is a draft of DEPA for that's going to be start working on next year, still capturing on the same issues that we are working on. This is a very first draft, right? So in 2 months' time, it's going to change a lot also. But I think the key theme are still the same. First, how we can build human capital, both in terms of people who can effectively deploy the technologies for Thai enterprises or Thai consumers to use to ensure the productivity is being captured. And also the second one is how can we build a high-value digital businesses, right? So we used to talk about startups, but already it's not only startups. We actually start having digital players in the stock market, for example, so how the government, DEPA in particular, working with those firms to enhance their competitiveness on the global scales, right? And start to have all of these technologies, capabilities being exported so that we can start earning services income. Digital drive for productivity and value creations is the adoptions of Thai enterprises, especially on the SME side. SMEs and community, right? Area around like agriculture, tourism, service sectors in the upcountry, for example. How can they adopt further the use of AIs and also digital technologies for that they can become more efficient, effective, right? What are the common infrastructures that the government need to build or supporting players like Thai, if you know the Thai, TAGTHAI, which is a national tourism platform, for example, promote the use of that and helping them building their functionalities and further embedding AI, for example, in that. The fourth pillar is addressing the people who having less than us. So the disabled, the people who have disabilities, people, underprivileged people, and the elderly, for example, how can they have a higher quality of life and issue around sustainability through digitals. So that include the health service, the education services that we provide, and also assisting the daily lives of those underprivileged people, right at the bottom of the pyramids. And the fifth issues that we are trying to address is how can we build a richer digital ecosystems, right? And also building foundations for future technologies, things like quantum, things like even more advanced AI technologies, and issues around hardware and sensors, for example. Huge opportunities because Thailand is very large manufacturing base right now. So we want to have robotics technologies, we want to have sensors technologies, and we start to looking into the hardware. Right now we are the Center for Photogenics, right? Photogenics technologies already, but we're looking to expand further both in that field deeper and also broader than that, right? Using EEC as the base. DEPA already have digital valleys established in Sriracha, right? We're trying to populate that, putting the testing facilities for hardwares and deployments of future connectivities, the 5G, 6G applications on the manufacturing side. So there's a lot of things that we are dreaming at the moment. We are trying to work on deeper, and hopefully we can gain what I call a higher value captures from digital and AIs. Thank you.
Thank you, Khun Thiranan. And now that we see the master plan or the plan to drive Thailand forward through value creation, if we dial down into companies, can I ask Khun Sarut, across Thai companies, what do you think distinguish those who already adopt AI, generating measurable value, and those who are still running pilot programs? And what does these management team need to do within the next 12 to 24 months to be able to generate or create value?
Okay, that's a loaded question. First, I think we passed the pilot program era for 2 years by now, at least from what I have seen. AI has been in a big spotlight for 3 years now, and people in my field, 3 years feel like 30 years. So the first year, everyone has a pilot program. The second year is more about, hey, let's put some budget and let's get everyone a chatbot. Right, so everyone has a chatbot, everyone has an individual AI in the organization. So that's more like a second phase. To answer your question, how can we distinguish between the companies who's moved beyond that and the company who hasn't moved beyond that yet? I think it's all come down to the business workflow and the business outcome. If the company has personal use AI, which I believe everyone has right now, it's going to be on each and individual person in the team, in the organization to leverage AI. For example, you might have a sales team that leverage AI, and then you have a supplier management team that also leverage AI. But that two team doesn't work with each other through AI. Right? That's kind of the state that where we are right now in the market, where you probably heard the term agentic era. So the whole idea of agentic is to connect different teams in the company together so everyone can work faster, more accurate, and respond to our customer in a better approach. So that's the idea of the agentic era. So to answer the question, I think we need to look at the business outcome, business output, and the business process. And when it comes to values, the question is also touch on the values, right? So we talk a lot about AI. We talk a lot about how to create more value from AI and the digital infrastructure that we have. But do we really understand where the value from AI come from? For me, it's three things. Number one, AI can crunch data better than human. So if you want to extract value from AI, your use case, your project needs to require a lot of data to involve, because that's what AI can do better than us. So that's one. The second, with the emerging of what we call generative AI and the ability for the machine to reason, good or bad is one thing, but at least the machine can now fairly reason just like human. It has the capability to streamline your business process. Because when you have your business process, you require people to reason about the input and what should the output look like, and then you pass it over to the other team. So now AI can help you transform your business process, meaning that you can automate more, you can run faster. And the third one is knowledge. Not many people realize that in the AI application that everyone has on the phone right now, it's not a search engine. It's a library. I'll take coding, for example. Everyone knows that AI can code. And with the emerging of AI coding assistant, now everyone can build a prototype software in a near zero cost. So, or again, I'll go back to my Gemini market survey. People in Vietnam use AI very cleverly. They use AI to help bridge the language gap between Vietnamese and English. So think about an SME in Vietnam who need to serve, visitors speaking French or speaking Japanese, and they use AI to help them sell better. Again, that's the third area that AI can help you bring more knowledge to the hands of everyone in your organization. To sum it up, if your question is how do we know that if the enterprise, if the company has a good plan to create value from AI, I think there's 3 domains: data, process automation, and distribution of knowledge.
Thank you, Krab. And I think that sets up well for the next point of discussion, which is about data and input, right? So we know that the issue a lot of the times these days are the data that goes into these models. So if AI is only as useful as the information behind it, Thailand's ability to use data safely and effectively becomes the central part of the next phase of growth, right? So if I can address Khun Thiranan on this question, Thailand has the ambition to become more data-driven, but governments, agency, private organizations, and to a certain extent, even in teams, right, same organization but separate teams, use different data sets, operates in silos. So what are the priority steps that needs to enable trusted data sharing and while protecting privacy and public concerns? So we'll start off with the bigger picture, then we'll come to Khun Sarvut for the more organizational data.
Yeah, I have a slide for that, but I'm very sorry, it's a very busy slide. First, I point you to the bottom, what we already have, right? What we already have right now, we established what the so-called Big Data Institute has been incubated inside DEPA for 4 years from 2019 to 2023, and we spun it off into a separate public organization called Big Data Institute in 2023, right? Second, BDI has has been approved already, what we call national big data strategies. You can search and start looking into that, addressing all the issues around big data and how Thailand can move beyond having data into using of data productively, right? On the government side, we start consolidating already 300 government data center into one single government centralized data centers. We call it GDCCs. That includes about 200 agencies and about 3,000 systems consolidated already. So right now, data repository for the government sectors mostly are already inside GDCC. There are a lot more to do. You look at the budget debate recently, there's still a lot of fragmentation of government data, but there's already an effort to consolidate all this, right? We start building digital data, what we call sectoral platform on three issues, right? First, we call it Health Link, is the system that consolidating the patient's records and hospital visits and all that. More than 100 hospitals already in the scheme right now, especially in Bangkok. If you go to any hospitals, any hospital in the scheme that are already enrolled in the scheme, you can pull up your data, your health record from other hospitals that you used to visit in the past. And that would help also both in terms of the scientific research around patients and the health care issues on Thailand, right? That's the health link. Traveling is already in place, linking the people in the tourism industries together to share data, and hopefully in the end we can have more data to dictate or help policymakers make the right decisions around tourism. Environmental link is also issue around environmental issues, which is a very big issue for Thailand, especially on the air, the quality of waters and all that, right? We start consolidating all these informations to help the policymakers and also the people, especially the users like agricultural sectors, to be able to use those data for their benefits, right? And the fifth one that we already start building is the Thai LLM, right? We believe the sovereignties around Thai language should be here, and the only way to do that is making a consortium of banks, telecom, and government sectors to start building our own large language models around the Thai language, right? So all of right now, there's an effort to put all of the legal regulations and all that inside these large language models, and also consolidating all the digital formats of news and all that into that, and that consortium start training data and the AI models around the Thai language already. So these are what we already have, but you look at the top right square, we're seeing what Thailand gaps are, right? Thai consumer are highly digital ready, but only 80% of Thai business supply data is AI in real operations, right? We needing about 100,000 data and AI talents. We only have about 20,000. So there's a very big gaps. And the talent growth is actually 1.4% vis-a-vis the global benchmark of 13% in terms of digital and AI. So these are the challenges that we have right now. So the next step for BDIs is how to first working on the data connectivities, data infrastructures, and knowledge of people on how they can manage data and informations, and also making the data AI ready. And then working with the businesses and also technology startups to working on turning the data into a productive data economy, what we call. Yep.
Thank you for that. And now that we see that what the government or what the promotion agency is trying to do, we still see that there are weaknesses in adoptions and how we use it. But if we can scale that down to a more corporate level, we've talked about this, different companies operating in silos, even in a group. Could you share a bit more of what they could do and how that could be tackled so that adoption is better within an organization?
You're going to be surprised me hearing me saying that I think we are in the day that data silo is no longer a challenge anymore. That's my statement. At Google, we wake up every day handling all kinds of data, starting from your traffic information, images, videos, text, numbers. That's what we have to deal with every day at Google. And as you all can see, right now you can chat with your Google Maps. You can chat with your YouTube. You can watch a video and ask YouTube to give you a summaries of what's going on in that video. So my point is, we are at the stage of the technology readiness that is more than ready to help all of us processing the messy data that every organization has in the organization. So to answer your question, I think the biggest challenge now is more on the business side, not from the technology side. The technology is beyond ready, but is the business has the right mandate to drive data adoption? Is the business has the right mandate to drive, a cross collaboration among different BUs, different subsidiary in the company? I think that's a common theme that we are seeing at the moment. And just to remind all of us that in the normal days, in a normal business, as of today, we're not having one company as a single entity anymore. Most companies operate in a group of business. Right? You don't have a bank as a bank. You have a financial services group. So how does a group of company has the right mandate for the data collection and exchange and collaboration among the same group? I think that's probably the next challenge that most companies we need to address because the technology is beyond ready. I'll give you one example. So in Google, we have a concept that we call agentic data cloud, which is basically having an AI agent that's capable to crawl into different data silo in the organization. So you don't need to put all of your data into one centralized place anymore. But you can put an AI agent at the middle layers and connect to different data silo automatically, right? But let's think about this scenario. Every company has their own internal acronym, right? Take logistic for a company, for example. You must have a name for your warehouse across the country. Then your inventory management will tie to that name of the warehouse. We can build an AI agent that connect to those acronyms of the name of the warehouse and figure out what kind of inventory you have in that particular warehouse. But the real value would come from how do we connect the level of inventory in each individual warehouse to the sales team, to the distribution team, to the route planning team. That's where the challenge is. The technology is beyond ready, in my opinion.
Thank you very much.
Let me add on to that. I think working on data is very important, but very tedious task. And what we found out in DEPA also is that for the younger Thai people, they don't want to do that. They have that kind of attitude that they don't like to study in science, technologies, digital, and data, right? So one of the things that we did for the past 2 years under the previous government actually is that we took money from lottery organizations. They have very huge funds there. Sitting idly, we took part of that money, and we're working with, I think, more than 30 universities all around the world to send the high school students. Each year we send, I think, about 800 students to have a 3 to 6 week kind of training in those universities, trying to give them an inspirations that actually these kind of things are not that, first, it's not that difficult. Second, they can manage to study and become excellent on that. Has been a very successful, actually. We sent 2 years, we sent 2 batches, about 1,600 people already. I hope this scheme still continue because we need to build an inspiration when the students are still very young and they start wanting to work in this field to bridge one of that 1.4 skill gaps that I have in my earlier slides, 1.4 growth in terms of the skill of digital and AI. So I think, and this kind of thing, you don't need to wait for the government to do that. I think the private sectors can start doing that, right? Building your own workforces on this data and AI technologies, right? Giving scholarships and all that. You already giving a lot of money into the, every year we do one katin, right? Actually, maybe sparing some of those as scholarships and helping building the future workforce that are future ready. Thank you.
Just very small comment to echo คุณธีรนันท์ครับ Absolutely, and my message to all the parents, imagine that every company has 100 AI agents in the company this year. Next year is going to be 150 agents. The other year is going to be 200 agents. You times that to the number of the company in the market. Who's going to manage those AI agents in the company if we don't have people study STEM? Right? So that's where the demand is. Yes, absolutely.
And that's very interesting. We've talked about the populations or the growth of AI skilled labor. But if we can take a step back and ask which sector right now has the right to win, essentially, not just as a user of imported data, but also a sector that can create AI value creation in terms of service or product that can also be scaled, not just in Thailand, but across ASEAN. Are there any sector that comes to mind right now? Maybe we start off with Khun Thiranan.
The right to win? Well, I put into three categories, right? The first category, what I call an absolute necessities. I don't know whether it's the right to win is the right word, but absolute necessities. It's the government or the public services. It is a necessities, right? Every country that excel in digital and AI would happen only if the government is capable of digital and AIs, right? Because it's the locomotive of these digital and AI transformations, right? Imagine if you can automate as much as possible, you still need to use papers to submit to the government agencies. It's not going to work, right? But if the government agencies already digitalize and force you to send everything in digital forms, then you need to transform itself. So the public service is very important. Second is healthcare. I think we have this huge aging problems. Healthcare needs to be automated a lot more than what it already does right now. There's a lot of automation already in place, but maybe concentrated in big cities still, right? How we can we leverage that? Third thing for Thailand is agricultural sectors. How can we use the technologies? And it's not just AI anymore. It's a lot of hardwares that needs to be built, sensors and all need to be built. And the fourth issue is tourism. These are these four things I call absolute necessity. We need to get it right when it gets to digital and AIs. But then we talk about sectors to win. We already have core strengths. Financial services in Thailand is already fully automated and very, very advanced. You look at digital payment, for example, it's one of the best in the world, right? Manufacturing sectors is still a challenge, as I said it, sensors, hardware, robotics, we need to build that. But as we are the manufacturing base for Southeast Asia in a number of supply chains, we need to get it right in terms of manufacturing. Logistics, very efficient. Logistics is needed. Retails, with the rise of e-commerce and all that, retails we need to have it right. And the fifth one is actually what I call the content and the creative economies, right? There's a lot of good stuff in the creative economy in Thailand. How can we digitalize it and also helping them grow in a more productive manners? So these are the areas that I would say the right to win, that if we invest properly, these 5 sectors, financials, services, manufacturing, logistics, retails, and content and creativities, right? But the key challenge to overcome this, I already addressed it, talents, innovation ecosystems, how we build that. How can we get the Thai startups, Thai players to have a global perspectives and mindset to expand, because Thailand is still very small. won't scale you enough, right, to compete. And the issues that we need to address is also with AIs, in particular, areas of sovereignties, data sovereignties, infrastructure sovereignties. We need to address that to ensure that in the end, we're just not using technology, but we're capturing the values of technology in the economy.
Kun Sarukap, to build on that, any sector of those that Kun Thiranan mentioned that you think could scale across ASEAN as well when you look from a broader perspective?
I agree with all the sectors that Kun Thiranan mentioned. My only concern is I don't like the term right to win.
Okay.
Just to give you from a tech industry perspective, the reason why people in tech industry is so excited about AI right now is we believe this is the birth of the internet moment. It's the moment of shifting the platform. It's the moment of shifting the user experience, shifting the ability to process information. Everything is shifted. This is how the tech industry is seeing. So if I want to ask a question back to you, if you change your question, the right to win, yeah? If you change the question from the AI era and go back, how many years? 20 years ago. And if you ask me, Kun Saruj, with the birth of the internet, which sector do you think has the right to win? Very difficult. I think that's a very difficult question. Because a couple of things. Number one, given that this is not just the technology change, but it's a platform shift, it's a technology shift, I think everyone has an equal playing field. So everyone has the same right to win per se. So that's one. The second is, it will create many, many more new business. Take the internet, for example. The new biggest industry that coming out of the internet is the platform. Because the internet enabled the people to connect to each other very conveniently, right? And that's create the platform industry. Who would have known which new segment will emerge from the new technology shift? I think that's a very big question. But going back to the level playing field, a couple of things. The reason why I believe every industry has the same level playing field is because, number one, the barrier to access data is very low because of the new technology that I mentioned. Everyone witnessed how AI can do with data. So it means that, the typical problem of data silo, etc., has now long gone. 3 years ago, you can't run a search as you can today. 3 years ago, if you want to have a customer briefing document, if you want to have a company profile briefing document, you spend weeks to prepare that. Now it's just one prompt away. So data access, very easy. Second, the ability to build software. So again, 3 years ago, if you have an idea, and if you want to prototype your ideas, it will take 6 months. Now 6 weeks is too long to test your ideas. So innovation can come faster, much faster with AI, right? Regardless of whatever sector that you are in. And the third one is knowledge that I mentioned earlier. Can anyone guess what is the most valuable knowledge that sits in the LLM that everyone has on the phone right now? Cyber security. 3 years ago, if you want to access the knowledge of cyber security, everyone would have a nod with me that it's super expensive. It's super, super expensive to be a cyber expert. And now, I'm not saying that AI is the cyber expert as of today, but at least the accumulation of the knowledge of cybersecurity is there in the model, in the phone of everyone. So whatever cyber attack that happened in the past 20 years is already there in that model for everyone to access. So data, process automation, the ability to build software, the ability to have a secure environment to operate your digital platform, I think that's where the AI shift contribute to every industry equally. That's why I honestly don't think, is there any particular sector that has the right to win?
That's very fair. And I think that if we move on for the equity investors in this room, Khun Thiranan Kap, what are the 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 policies execution milestone that we could look for over the next couple of years to assess if Thailand has really become an investable digital economy? Any key milestone that we should look out for, Kap?
Actually, that is a very difficult question to answer because as the work on digital needs to move together hands in hand on many fronts, right? But I think the key that you look for, and maybe we should be pressing for, is that the issues around the government and government services is the key because it's increased the issue around how can we move in a more sustainable growth manner, and also the efficiencies being spread out, right, all over all the sectors of the countries. That would be the key. So we are working on what I call the sustainable digital infrastructure at the moment. We already think quite successful in data centers, and there's also already a policy shift in terms of data centers, focusing more on the qualities, not the quantities, and the sustainability issues around that, right? And the issues around the data sovereignties and data mobilities, right? The data integrations efforts that BDI is working on, and also Thailand start having our own technologies, especially to support AIs. We may not need to own any modeling creations, but at least the data on the data side and the training of the model side needs to be there. So these are the 2 key issues, and I think we already start moving, right? I said there are issues around the areas that we absolute necessity need to get it right. BDI already work on health link, travel links, and the Thai LLM. DEPA is working on the very difficult to read, but it's a digital greens. There's on agricultural, we're working on one of the very key products right now, durian, how to help durian growers to actually manage the productions of durians better. City data platform, we're already moving into that. So the smart city concept, what are the common city data that need to be built, and also standardizing of the data platform so that we can integrate all those data easily, right? Core technology that being worked on, big data, AIs, and also the infrastructures on the data and data centers and clouds. Data, we are moving on that. So if you ask me about the top topics, would be government services, the sovereignty issues around data and AIs, and also the progress on these key initiatives that we are working on. Yeah.
Thank you, Kap. And Khun Sarut, if I may have a similar question in terms of what would be the key metrics that you would define Thailand has successfully adopted AI or data and created value? What would be the key milestone you would look for in the next couple of years, Kap?
Okay, a couple of things up, and I just repeat what I already explained. So AI has 3 value to business, right? Process automation, expansion of knowledge, the ability to crunch data. So when we look at the success of AI adoption, I think that's the three lenses that we can look into. So that's one. Second, from the business standpoint, I think if any company can move from an individual AI organization where everyone has AI as a personal assistant toward institutional AI organization in which your business rely more on AI, in which different business unit connected with each other through the help of AI to make things faster. I think that's another lens that you can see. I'll give you a simple example, and we don't need to talk about big conglomerates. Let's say SME. So if I were an SME, I have very limited sales person to work for me. Mostly it's just going to be me, and I selling something online. How can I have an AI agent that help me sell faster, sell broader? And then that AI agent connect directly to my suppliers, my delivery team that need to deliver the product and services to my customer, and automate all of this and scale it out. So I think adopting AI into automate the process and scaling out the process, that would be the very key factor.
And let me add, I think if you look at Thailand, you shouldn't look at Thailand as a standalone country. Actually, we are part of ASEAN. And ASEAN on the digital front, there's a lot of discussions both at the government levels and also at the industry level on digital cooperations, right? There's the so-called ASEAN Digital Economy Framework Agreements is being developed at the moment, trying to putting in both the cooperation system of infrastructures, standardizations on many things to make sure that things that are being built in the ASEAN communities can be shared, can be integrated easily, and also we also trying to look at the strengths and weaknesses of each countries and trying to see if there are any complementary initiatives that we want to work on so that infrastructures can be shared. The issue around smart grid, for example, how can we have an inland smart grid integrations for the energy efficiencies and renewables, for examples. Maybe one day we can use renewable energies that are produced in Indonesia, for example, and to have more of the green energies. They have huge potential over there. Philippines also have huge potential over there, but we need to work on the cooperations along the digital fronts. And there's also already established the ASEAN CXO associations from the private sector perspectives that working with ASEAN Secretary on that. So there's something at the policy level that you should watch out also because it can have a significant productivity impact for the digital ASEAN as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you both for coming to join us today. Today's discussion has reinforced that Thailand's next digital chapter is not solely about building more infrastructure, but it's about converting infrastructure into adoptions, data into trusted innovations, and technologies into productivity and higher value growth. So please join me in thanking Khun Thiranan and Khun Sarut, our panelists for today's session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to our panelists and moderator for such a rich and thoughtful discussion. What struck me most about this conversation is how clearly it showed that digital transformation is not something happening at some point in the future. It is happening right now. And the decision being made today around data, cloud, infrastructure, AI adoption will shape Thailand's competitiveness for years to come. It is also a great reminder that technology on its own is not the whole story. As we heard from the previous session, real progress depends just as much on people, policymakers, and the willingness of organizations to actually put these tools into practice. The gap between having digital capability and using it effectively is often where the real works happen. And ladies and gentlemen, it was very encouraging to hear how much thought is already going to closing the gap here in Thailand. And what I also found compelling was the balance from today's conversation between the promise of what possible and an honest look at the barriers still standing in the way. So ladies and gentlemen, for the next session, Competing for the Future, how Thailand can win the next wave of high-value investment. This session will explore how Thailand can strengthen its competitiveness, attract higher value investment, and also position itself for the next wave of global growth. For this session, we have Secretary General Thailand Board of Investment, Mr. Narit Thirsathien-sak, who will join us shortly after we begin. Senior Vice President and Managing Director, Infineon Technologies Thailand, Mr. Wei Ko Lim. Chief of Staff and Senior Director for External Affairs, Lumentum Thailand, Dr. Prong Kong Sapto, with Head of Research, DBS Wickers Securities, Ms. Janpen Siri Thana Ratanakul, will moderate this session. So ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite the speakers and moderator on the stage, please.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Thailand is entering another important investment cycle at a time when global investors are thinking where to invest and where to manufacture. Today, we would like to look beyond the headline numbers and focus on why companies invest in Thailand, where the next wave of investment will come from, and what Thailand needs to do to win more of this kind of investment. Now let's start with the current situation. About 3 years ago, I was on this stage with Kunarit talking about the surge in EV investment into Thailand. And since then, investment applications have surged significantly to reach new high and driven by a much broader range of industries. Today, we have quite a good mix on this panel. We have Kunarit, which will join us shortly on the policymaker. And also now we have 2 global tech companies who are really investing into Thailand and will share with us today. Maybe we'll start with Mr. Lim on the corporate side. Infineon is now building a new highly automated back-end facility here in Thailand. And how has Thailand's role within Infineon's global network evolved? And what makes Thailand an attractive place for Infineon to invest?
So good morning, everyone. Currently, Infineon operates 7 facilities across Europe, Asia Pacific, and US. All those are back-end manufacturing facilities. And Thailand is one of the manufacturing facilities. The Thailand facility will become the next generation of what we call the back-end hub, with the size of nearly twice the largest current back-end hub in Infineon technology. And we are going to, the facility is going to be a state-of-the-art facility, and will leverage on latest technology and automation, and that will reshape the entire workforce toward a greater attention to the technician, engineer, and highly skilled workforce. So the Thailand facility is going to be very important in supporting the company revenue growth for Infineon Technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Ka. Next, let's hear another perspective from Lumentum. Dr. Prong, Thailand has become Lumentum's largest manufacturing site. What has made Thailand such an important part of Lumentum's global operations, and how has its role evolved?
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Lumentum actually started in Thailand as a factory about 8 years ago. We started with only a few hundreds people. Okay. But nowadays, as of today, we have 9,000, and we are growing to be 10,000 very soon. We are the largest facility for Lumentum worldwide, right? And of course, Lumentum is the photonic and advanced communication company. So this is a new forefront that we see the growth. Of course, one of those is related to a lot of people talk about the AI and the data center as well. However, when we look back into the Thailand, right, what we see, I would like to put two things into perspective so that you can see what a lot of people, not Lumentum alone, but a lot of people look at the Lumentum. Right? I did this one a little bit, but I want to emphasize on two things: strength and opportunity. Right? Strength is that Thailand is in industry for a long time. Right? We are in OSAT, EMS, PCB, so we are familiar with manufacturing. And nowadays we start to have the long-term roadmap from the government. We call it like the National Semiconductor and Advanced Electronics Policy Driven. So this is very good that we see that Thailand cohesively move forward. And of course, the BOI will come and talk about the special incentive that we have, right? So in terms of the strength, that is something carry over. But the opportunity that we see right now, even to further expand, is about the massive government push to move up the value chain, right? That is opportunity. Second one is we'll start to see the new wave of the technology coming in, like AI, data center, EV, clean energy. So that is the thing that a lot of the Thai industry pick it up, right? The third one is about the green technology and the clean energy. I think Thailand have very good strategy on this one. Right? If you want to get the clean energies, the green tech, we have a lot of those. Another point is the relocation of the supply chain. We start to see a lot of the companies start to move because this is like company diversities. So something that we can put into more like a stable alternative, which is Thailand. So we start to see the ecosystem to pick it up. Right? And the last one on this one is that Ministry of Higher Education recognize that we need to move up the value chain. So there are a lot of programs with the university right now, or even the Ministry of Higher Education, to push further for upgrade or upskill, reskill our students. But my last point I would like to make is that a lot of people ask about why Thailand. I'm in the industry for 30, 40 years. A lot of people forget about this one, but I want to capture this. They are the soft power of Thailand as a manufacturing, right? You know, Thai people is hospitality, service-oriented cultures. We have, the culture itself is stable, harmonized workforce. We also cultural adaptabilities. That is why when people from other country work in the country, we harmonize very well, we adapt very well. I think Mr. Lim can also express that as a foreigner come to the factories is also be able to very open. We have the deep culture and pride of the craftsmanships and the quality. Our people believe in that one. And respect for education. People want to learn more. People want to do better in their life. And also high quality of life of expat and visitor. This is another factor of the soft power. So not only in terms of the business in Thailand, but something you also get it from doing business in Thailand as well. So this is why we are growing in the country. Thank you.
I think now let's welcome Kunarit, who has arrived here. We are now on the first question. We are talking about why global investors are investing in Thailand today. And I just mentioned to the audience that about 3 years ago, I was here on this stage with you, talking about the surge in EV investment into Thailand. And since then, investment applications have continued to reach new highs. And that's driven by a much broader range of industries, from EV to PCB and now to data center. And Kunaritka, what is driving this momentum? And why are we seeing such a different mix of investment today?
Thank you very much for your question. First of all, I apologize for coming late. We just organized a big event at Bytech in the same period as Thailand Focus. We call the Thailand Electronic Circuit Asia to promote the printed circuit board and advanced electronic industry. Amid global challenges, the ASEAN is becoming a bright spot for FDI. And Thailand is one of the major destinations for the investment. We are at the heart of ASEAN investment momentum. This morning, I just talked to many printed circuit board makers. They told me that the reason why they have chosen Thailand as their location, because Thailand has quality, reliability, resiliency, sustainability, plus neutrality in geopolitics. So we have all of these here in Thailand. So these are the reasons why FDI come to Thailand. And from the slide, you will see that the investment figure through the BOI reached new high every year. The major driving forces are coming from both external and internal factors. For external factor, the geopolitical tension and the restructuring of global supply chain is one of the main reasons. The investors are looking for the place which are reliable, stable, and ready to plug and play. And the second reason is the rapid growth of the AI technology. The demand for AI infrastructure and supporting components has increased, ranging from semiconductor and advanced electronic, like Infineon and Lumentum. The investment that coming to Thailand in recent years increased in many electronic components, such as the photonics technology, the optical transceiver, advanced PCB, high capacity hard disk drive, and also AI server. We also receive investment in critical supporting systems, such as a cooling system for data center, power supply, network equipment, software, and system management platform. And the third external factor is the ESG and sustainability that has driven the investment in clean energy, bio-based industry, and other green technology. For internal factors, Thailand has many strengths and benefits for the investor, including the well-developed infrastructure, both physical and digital infrastructure. We have reliable electricity and high potential for clean energy. And we also offer over 80 world-class industrial estates nationwide. And Thailand also has robust supply chain, especially for automotive and electronic industry. And we also have high-quality workforce, which is ready to upskill and upgrade for emerging industries. So these are the reasons why Thailand is one of the main destinations for the investor. And regarding the different mix of the investment, we will see that now the industrial structure has changed a lot. AI is not just standalone technology, but AI is embedded in everything around us, from automotive, medical device, automation, machinery, robotics. Even the car is becoming a digital and electronic platform. So all new technology are deeply interconnected, and many industries such as semiconductor, electronic, PCB, AI, automotive are linked together and form as the one technology platform, and this create a lot of opportunity for Thailand.
Thank you, Kha. We have looked at why Thailand has been able to attract investment, and now let's look ahead. Where will the next wave come from? Kunarika, in the next 3 to 5 years, which sectors or technologies do you see driving the next wave of foreign direct investment into Thailand?
I believe that AI supply chain, including semiconductor and advanced electronic, will be the key driver and will be the leading sector because of the growth of AI technology, smart vehicle, and smart electronic devices. So these will be the driving forces and increase the demand for semiconductor and electronic component. We will have the National Semiconductor Board meeting in early September, which we will propose the national strategy for semiconductor and advanced electronics, which will help accelerate the development of the Thailand electronic ecosystem. A key priority to drive this sector is talent development. The BOI adopt a two-pronged strategy, build and buy. We will build local talent, and at the same time, we will attract global talent to help us develop this industry. We have many measures to attract global talent, such as the BOI visa to attract expat to work under BOI promoted projects. And we also operate the smart visa to attract startup, and also long-term resident visa to attract global wealthy citizen and high-skilled professional to live and work in Thailand for the long term. As I mentioned, that the talent development will be the key to drive this industry. I'm sure that Lumentum and Infineon also put their priority on the talent development. Now we have many universities participating in the talent development program, such as semiconductor engineering. Now we have 8 universities in Thailand that already have curriculum on the semiconductor engineering. For data center, recently King Mongkut Lakabang University just opened their new curriculum for master degree in data center engineering. And yesterday, I met with the executive of Airbus in Thailand. They partner with Kasetsart University and King Mongkut Lakabang to develop aerospace engineering curriculum. So this is a new direction to develop talent pool for Thailand in the future.
Okay, Kha. Now let's turn to Infineon's growth opportunities. Mr. Lim, where do you see the biggest growth opportunities for Infineon over the next few years, and how could Thailand participate in that growth?
I guess the recent Infineon market cap just surpassed 100 billion and make it one of the top 10 Germany, our largest company in Germany. And primarily due to the role, or the market recognize our role in powering AI businesses. As we are in the early stage of the AI computing, this area produce or provide a significant growth and opportunity for all of us. While Infineon remain focused on digitalization and decarbonization, Primarily, we talk about the energy and mobility. These are the two segments that we foresee there will be a significant growth in the foreseeable future. Now, take for example, as we all know that this year, EV car sales registration remained flat. Last quarter, China reported 18% decline in the EV sales. But then in our automotive division, we continue to see the revenue grow. That is mainly because of the rising software content in each vehicle. And that's what aligns with what Kunaris mentioned just now. Most of our activity day to day actually transforming toward digitalization. And that continues to see the opportunity for all of us. And as I mentioned, Thailand facility will become the largest back-end hub for Infineon. To realize that business plan, we need to develop a comprehensive ecosystem in Thailand. And that creates an opportunity for local company, local SME to collaborate, to work with Infineon and achieve a shared business goal for a sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ka. Now let's turn to Lumentum. Dr. Prong, Lumentum has just reported another exceptional quarter with revenue more than doubling year on year to over $1 billion. What is driving this growth and how sustainable is it? And what role could Thailand play in Lumentum's next phase of expansion?
Thank you very much. And then, like you mentioned, last quarter is the record high of the Lumentum. We report 1 billion, the first time that we crossed that 1 billion mark in the quarter. But basically, the driver is come from the AI, cloud, and also telecommunication. Right? Nowadays, the world connect together, and we want to connect faster. Right? I think everything that we start is that we used to be in the copper technology when we connected. Right? In the past, all the things connect through the copper, and I think coppers start to reach the limit of so many things. Right? Now the photonic or the optics or the advanced communication start rely on the light, on the photonics devices. So you start to see the penetrations of this adoption of the photonics into the network and the AI data center. Okay, this is the one that the biggest drive that we have. Lumentum Thailand is the largest facility for Lumentum. So you think about the whole Lumentum have 14,000 people. In Thailand, it's 9,000. So we are one of the largest. But it's not only expand the size, we start to expand similar to Infineon, the ecosystem, right? Supplier, our contract manufacturing, and all of those in Thailand as well. Right? I just want to show you with the next pictures that how the data center and AI adopt the photonic into their infrastructures. It's a busy chart, but this is a data center connectivity. We talk about the connectivity alone, right? You start to see that every single point connecting out from the data center, connecting within the data center, connecting within the rack itself, start to have the conversion for connectivity chain from electricity through the copper wire, to the copper connections, to the light or the photonics. So you see a lot of the product adopt there has been start migrate into the infrastructures. Many of those that you see is produced here from Thailand, right, for the Lumentum. And of course, it's also include the infrastructure. And not only because of data centers start to adopt and going to fast growth their adoptions, because of connectivity, it's not only within data center itself, they will make the whole telecom network also need to elevate themselves to connect the long haul, the conventional data center, the conventional telecommunication network also start to expand as well, right? So you look at this one is I look at it on the technology front before I talk about the Lumentum, is that it's similar to the time that we used to have the copper wire connect your telephone, and you used to have the modem. If you're still old enough, you know the word modem, right? We use the modem over the copper wires. But then suddenly there is a change in the fiber optic. We change to be fiber optic. Now the thing explodes 10 times, 100 times. We are in the phase of explosion of that one inside data center and the telecom again. So this is an opportunity, and for Lumentum, we see this one as an opportunity. So that is to start to see the growth of this area in the photonic and advanced communication companies in the world. Okay, thank you.
We have talked about opportunities, but Thailand isn't the only country competing for this high-value investment. So now, what will it take for Thailand to win more of it? Let's hear from industry first. Mr. Lim, Malaysia, Vietnam, India are competing for many of the same high-value investment. What is Thailand's real competitive advantage, and what does Thailand still need to improve?
I guess in the recent year, we see the government have a very strong policy in supporting semiconductor industry and advanced electronic industry. We particularly value the effort put by Thailand Board of Investment in enabling the favorable business environment, workforce development, and how to create a sustainable market. I think that is key for our key partnership in order for us to set up a business over here. Of course, we cannot neglect that Thailand actually located in a very strategic location in Southeast Asia, and plus a growing economy. In terms of the improvement or opportunity we can do better, my take is that I guess we need to further streamline the local regulation plus the export and import control, and how can we accelerate the paper-based document to accelerate the transition, the paper-based document to digital format. And last but not least is about continuing invest on our current power grid for more higher quality and reliable power supply. Semiconductor industry is highly sensitive in power quality and power supply, and same as others advanced electronic and data center. I think that will make a differentiation between Thailand and other neighboring countries. Thank you.
And now let's turn to Lumentum. As Lumentum continues to expand in Thailand, how do you see the engineering talent pipeline today, and what needs to be done to support the next stage of growth?
Yeah, this is a challenge that we have, and also I just want to touch a little bit on the opportunity for Thailand is that, like Kun Lim mentions, those things that has been addressed is very important. They talk about the infrastructure, the ease of doing business with, right, and all of those. But I'm in the industry for 30 plus years in Thailand. I start from semiconductor. This is the right time for Thailand. You see the national strategies. We start to see the push from the government cohesively between many ministries. Throughout the 30 plus years, we don't see that cohesive at this time. This is an opportunity, right? But specifically for Lumentum, one of the things that we work with, and we got a very good, that is the evidence that we show that the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister also start to look at the opportunity to strengthen collaborations. Right? But Lumentum is in the photonic industry. One of the challenges for us is that unlike semiconductor you already have 8 university adopt the programs. We don't yet have the photonic curriculum in Thailand. Right? So this is the thing that we are working on. We are work closely with the Ministry of Higher Education. We work closely with the government and universities to set up the photonic labs. We set up the curriculum together. How can we have more? Because we start to see more and more of the photonic and advanced communications companies come to Thailand, including the supplier. So definitely, one day we will reach the talent fight to get the talent among each other. What Lumentum did at the beginning, and I hope that everyone will do that in the future, is that we start some of the programs. I will let you introduce some of the things that we already done as an example, and I think more and more of this is going to come. Thailand have a shortage of the photonic engineering. Right? So one of the things is that we work with the Ministry of Higher Education. We come up with programs, which is called Introduction to Photonic Engineer, Introduction level, intermediate level, and work closely with the Ministry of Higher Education. And this course become available online from the open platform for anyone who are interested in the photonic. I checked it a month ago. We just launched it maybe like 2 quarters ago. There are 1,800 people registered in the class already, online. Right? So it's a good sign that people start to go into this knowledge, right? I just put the cost, the 2D barcode there in case someone interested. It's certification by Chulalongkorn universities, and this is it kind of the upskill and reskill. You think about you are the semiconductor engineer, but you want to go into the photonic engineer. Let's do this one, and then you get certificate. Walk into any photonic and advanced communication company. We value this not only for Lumentum but for all industry in the photonic and advanced communications. We also have working on the second phase, which is the advanced training. Right, so we are going to have the advanced programs for the photonic. So you think about the next 3 months, country will have introduction, intermediate, and advanced level, right? 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hour class, certified by Chulalongkorn universities, and people can carry that one along as part of the upskill and open for everyone. So this is the beginning of the push that we have, but we will do more, not only for Lumentum. Once we go back and align with the national strategies, align with the universities, we will come up with more of this. We also come up similar to the roadmap that we work for semiconductor engineering. We will have photonic engineering go along with them as well. So this is something that we would like to address, that the people is the key element from those ones. This is when we signed the MOU with the Ministry of Higher Education. There are 2 key things from this MOU. One is to develop the curriculums, either upskill to be certificate level or additional degree. And also we are going to set up the photonic laboratories in one of the national semiconductor center for the country. Right? But we need more of this, I think, and it's coming. That is why I said this is the time we start to see the cohesive between national strategy, Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of Finance, and also the BOI that cohesively work together on this one. Very high opportunity.
Kunaritka, you have heard from industry about how both Thailand's strength and area of improvement. And what is the one thing Thailand most needs to get right to stay competitive for the next wave of high-value investment?
May have 3, not just one thing, but at least 3 things that we need to do more to build the sustainable future industry in Thailand. First thing is people, the human resource. As we would like to attract tech-based investment, human resource is a key factor. As many of us are talking about how to develop local talent to be ready for future industries. So this is one thing that we should put more focus, and also to attract global talent to work in Thailand for new industries. And the second thing is the supply chain development. Even though Thailand has strong supply chain in existing industry, such as automotive or electronics, but since we are building new industries, especially the semiconductor, advanced electronic, PCB, photonics, electric vehicle, battery, automation, robotics, humanoid, These are new technology. So we need new supply chain for new technologies. We could upgrade the existing supply chain to respond to the changes in the future. And thirdly, the ease of doing business. Speed is very important for new investment. This is the reason why BOI implement the Thailand Fast Pass program, which is the new mechanism to clear the obstacle and get the investor up and running faster and easier. So these are three most important things that we should put more focus and do more.
Thank you, Ka. Now, may I have one question for all three of you? Looking ahead into 2035, what would success look like for Thailand as a destination for high-value investment? Maybe we start with Mr. Lim first.
I guess the thought process is that to develop a strong and comprehensive local ecosystem, we need a joint effort, not only from an Infineon perspective, but like I mentioned, the local company, local SME, and this will take patience, and this will have to set up a business strategy to see how we can create a sustainable future. For Infineon, we are not just investing the operation or setting up the largest back-end facility in Thailand, but we also inviting some of our key strategic partners to set up the local operation in Thailand so that we can get what we call support from our day-to-day business. And most of the supplier probably the first time set up business in Thailand. And local partnership is essential. That will increase the higher rate of successful. So again, that will be another opportunity for local company to participate and to continue to see how we can build a comprehensive ecosystem in Thailand for semiconductor perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, Ka. Now, Dr. Prong, please.
Yeah, I think it's similar along the way that like Kun Lim mentioned as well. Right? Just want to point out a couple of things. It's not the key one, but just want to let you know that if you talk about 2035, right? What I see is that ecosystem is very important. Right? I think Lumentum alone in the past 5 or 6 years will bring along another 25 suppliers coming to Thailand. Right? So, of course, the next step is not only bringing along the supplier, we also need to also develop our local. Right? So, one of the things that I would like to share that if Thailand want to have the sustainability in the next 8 years or 10 years is that we need to start to look at the metrics when not only foreign direct investment go into the country, but how we start to spin that one as the ecosystem and generate the GDP contributions. I think this is the key one that, to coming in, develop something, and at the end, GDP spinning, increasing from the effort that we are putting in. Right? So this is something that if we can work together to ensure that everyone not only focus on the foreign direct investment, but also start to see the GDP impact, right, to the country. I think that's the sustainability. Thailand needs a new engine, and I think like Gunarit mentioned, the focus area that already paved with the way, semiconductor, photonic, the aerospace, and all of those. Right? That is a new economics that we are going to put into the country and ensure that all the ecosystem has been built and we could contribute to the GDP to the country. I think this is a key one that I would see in the next 10 years.
And Gunarit, please.
Since the government has clearly set the goal for big picture, the government set the goal to create the GDP growth at least 3% plus each year, and to make Thailand become top 20 most competitive economies in the world by 2030, and also has the goal to become the high-income country within 12 years. This is a macro target. And the investment will be the major mechanism to achieve this goal. So this is the role of the BOI and other partners to help together to achieve this goal. I believe that Thailand has high potential to become not just manufacturing based, but the regional hub for advanced technology manufacturing and high value services. So this is our goal of the BOI and of the Thai government to achieve. Another point, in my opinion, success means building an ecosystem where global companies and Thai enterprises and also Thai people can work together to innovate and grow together in the country. Thank you.
That's a great note to end on. Please join me in thanking Khun Narit, Mr. Lim, and Dr. Prong for sharing their perspectives with us today. And thank you all for joining us. Enjoy the rest of Thailand Focus. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you very much to our panelists and moderator for a very informative session. Ladies and gentlemen, while we are waiting to proceed to the next session, which is the keynote session, it is our privilege and a great honor to welcome Dr. Ek Niti Than Praphat, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance of Thailand, to deliver us a keynote address. And may I take this opportunity to recap shortly on our previous session. Our previous session looked at something that sits right at the center of Thailand's economic story, how the country builds on the investment momentum it already has, and also turn that into a genuine position of strength in the next generation of high-value industry. Our panelists spoke about the kind of industry Thailand is positioning itself for, the sort of high-value, technology-driven sectors that are increasingly shaping where global investment flows. They also touched on infrastructure behind them, the less visible but increasingly important foundation that modern, competitive economics are built on. What also made the session particularly worth paying a close attention to was that it did not stop at the opportunity. It also looked honestly at capability. Our panelists discussed not just where the potential lies, but where Thailand actually needs to strengthen to capture it, from talent and infrastructure to energy and supply chain, and also overall competitiveness against other markets seeking the very same investment. That combination, policy perspective alongside industry experience, is exactly where came through in today's panel. It was one thing to hear where Thailand opportunities lies. It was another to hear directly what it will actually take to get there and to remain over the years ahead, a destination that global investors continue to choose with confidence. In addition, one thing our panel made clear is where a lot of this growth is actually really coming from AI, cloud, and telecommunications, all converging together at once and connecting the world faster than before. As corporate networks start reaching their limits, we are seeing a wider penetration, AI and data adoption. Every single point at connection now ties back to a data center. In addition, our panelists also noted that start with policy. In recent years, the government has taken a notably supportive advance at various industries, working to create a real favorable business environment and build sustainable long-term partnership and Thailand's advantage. Here should not be overlooked either, a strategic location and an economy that continues to grow. Ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly inform you that our Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance of Thailand, Dr. Ek Niti Than Prapat, will be here shortly. So may I please kindly inform you to remain seated, and we will proceed to the next session shortly. Thank you.
Hello. Today, there's an important program from the Stock Exchange of Thailand that every investor should know about, the Jump Plus program. Jump Plus is a program promoting value enhancement for Thai-listed companies, with a total of 142 participating companies. It invites listed companies to prepare a 3-year long-term plan from 2026 to 2028, covering 3 main areas: a business plan, a governance plan, and a climate action plan. For the business plan, about 2/3 of the participating companies aim to grow profit or revenue by more than 50% within 3 years, and 40% of the companies aim to increase net profit by more than 100%. Driven by a total of 277 business strategy initiatives. As for the governance plan, there are 271 initiatives in total, over half of which focus on anti-corruption, whistleblowing, and preventing the use of insider information. For the climate action plan, companies that are ready to take action have voluntarily prepared 113 initiatives, reflecting a serious commitment to ESG. From now on, participating companies will report their progress every 6 months, so investors can follow along continuously. While the Stock Exchange of Thailand and its partners will provide support, both through knowledge and activities that help raise awareness among investors. Join us in following this next step in elevating Thai-listed companies with the Jump Plus